I mean, today, over 600,000 candidates are sitting for the Basic Education Certificate Examination, BECE. We're wishing them well. However, it is not without concerns, as we have seen over the years, issues of malpractices and, of course, results being withheld and all. Let's have a brief comment on this particular issue regarding the BECE and, of course, our candidates who are sitting for the exam.
Okay. Well, I wish the candidates the best of luck. But more importantly, I think we also need to be looking at our education system as a whole, because leakages have become an annual event. Until date, no one at WAEC or anywhere has been found culpable. And that is worrying, because it seems that leakage has become a normal business and no one seems worried about it. Students become the victims because their results are withheld. Apart from the in-house malpractices of copying and things like that go on in there. The leakage itself is the main concern for me, because it doesn't tell our students or our children that we are concerned about bad behavior. And it is not just what we teach them in class, but it is what we teach them by our actions that we should also be thinking about. For instance, in this whole idea of the double track that's gone on, and issues like even the SS at the SSS level,
the WASI level,
the WASI level, you realize there was so much lack of planning involved in the process that you ask yourself, what are we subtly telling our children? That in life there's no need to plan, that we can do anything as we go along. For me, those are important messages that we are sending to the children of the future that doesn't augur well for us as a nation. Because training should be comprehensive. It shouldn't just be about literacy that we are teaching them in class, but it should encompass everything else about how they must live their lives in the future. So for me, these are things that we need to sit down dispassionately and talk about as a country. Rather than this idea that, oh, we have passed so many children, so many have passed the exams and issues. I think we need to have a serious discussion on whether the education that we are offering our children is really worth it. One, I keep making this example that anyone in Ghana today who can afford it will not let their child or children go and write BECE. They'll write O-levels. And they'll write A-levels. I mean, let's be sincere. Anyone who can afford it in Ghana today will not go through the BECE system. They will send their children for O-level and A-level systems.
Why? What's the comparison between them?
Why? Because everybody clearly is seeing that there's something not right with the BECE system that we claim we are following. One, what was the basis for the junior secondary school? Let's go back to the 1990s. What did the government say? The government said that the O-level and A-level system was geared only towards theory. And that they were going to bring in a new education system which would ensure that children will be able to identify their skills early in life. If it was woodwork, if it was metal work, if it was cooking, if it were things like that, skills, children will be able to pick up their talents early enough and then branch off into their areas of specialty so that they could create jobs for themselves rather than waiting for employment. So those were the reasons behind the current system that we have. Now let's look at it 20, 30 years on and ask ourselves where we are. Are the children acquiring practical skills? Are they being taught woodwork? Are they being taught metal work? Are they being taught all these things in the junior secondary school? No. Because since we supplied the first toolboxes, which are even carpentry, in 1990, let's go around all the schools and ask ourselves, how many more toolboxes have been supplied since? Are the children doing any practical thing, or they are drawing the hacksaws, they are drawing the planes and issues like that? These are the things that we need to honestly discuss as a nation, rather than simply continue this process and be taunting ourselves on the shoulder and say, oh, we are doing well, so many children have passed and issues like that. Because then what was the difference? What did we seek to change by bringing on this system? We have not clearly spent time to have that discussion. But quickly somebody says, now we are doing STEM, we are doing this, we are doing... We are moving on without taking cognizance of what have we achieved with this new system. Has it really been successful? If no, what do we need to do? So for me, these are honest discussions we need to have about the education system that we have now, rather than keep adding on to it and changing. Because even now, we are talking about the curriculum for BEC.
Yeah.
I mean, today we have changed it. Tomorrow we say, hold on. I mean, what is it?
Yeah.
I mean, these are not things we toy with, because we are talking about the future of the nation.
Yeah.
And it is sad that governments, politicians seem to play with this. And I keep saying, they have checked out of the system. They have checked out of the system. They send their children to international schools and ask them to write O-level and A-level.
Yeah.
And then they think that everybody else who can't should stay in that system. And they keep toying with the system and not making any concrete efforts to ensure that it is of value to the nation as a whole. And bringing the whole nation down, for me, that is the worry. And I think that it is not fair to the people of this country. We need to seriously have a discussion on it.
Very well. Thank you, Engineer.